day. This is the first virtual lesson lecture part, the introductory part 1. I have to do this in a few videos just to complete the transmission of the content to all of you. So welcome, and I hope that technology will not leave us in the lurch. So our module 4 concentrated on internal communication. So what do we expect from this lesson? What do we expect to reach at the end of this module? There, we will define the internal communication and what you are supposed to be doing, evaluate the internal communication from the employee's perspective, and describe and evaluate corporate strategies and methods for communicating with employees. So with that said, remember, labor cost is the biggest cost of any budget. And if we have done in the module 2 and 3, we designed a budget for PR. And we know that the venue hire, etc., were all costs involved. But as the vital importance, the vital component of any business is the employee. And the employee needs to be kept up-spirited. They need to be motivated. So in order to increase productivity and profitability. So with that said, at the end of these sessions or these little videos that I will be forwarding, you need to be able to grasp those 3 bullets. Definition. Internal communication is also known as employee communication, because who works within the business? The employees. Shoulder to shoulder, colleague to colleague. It is defined as the planned use of communication actions systematically, because you do not want chaos. If there's miscommunication in any business, in any sphere of an organization, you'll find that there's chaos if there's miscommunication. So, Strauss and Hoffman said it in 2000 already, and we know that in 2000, if I can clearly remember, that was the millennium, when they said all computers will crash, all information barriers will be broken. So, it's 20 years later, and we're using same technology, however improved, more advanced, because now I can speak into a little camera and the information can disseminate it to all of you. So, it is planned use of communication actions and systematically influence the knowledge, the attitudes and behaviors of current employees. Furthermore, who are the internal publics? You'll find that big yellow dot is the core portion of what the public is in the organization. The employees. Yes, the part and parcel, you have the grey little area, the contractors, those people that are going to render a service to the business. For example, I'm a service provider to Elmi, but I'm an employee, but I'm also providing a service to Elmi. Part-time, you're a part-time class, but during the day there's full-time students. So any organization have that scenario as well. We have people working full-time, we have people working part-time. We have people coming in at ad hoc basis, which we call the casual workers. And then we have people coming in and just rendering a service with no regard to, or to expect, with no expectation to get a salary. And those are the volunteers. Yes. Pat Jackson designed this model, and we have employees relations with the community, the core, the employees, and then it goes to the community. Community is the wealth of the business, as they are the buying power of the business. So your first relationship is to your community. Who do you serve? Who do you target your service to? Who do you target your product to? So the community relations that would be formed first and foremost between the employee and the community. Then we have the broader community, where they're now going to have to deal with the social responsibility. The employees are going to be part and parcel of the organization who's going to render a service to the community to uplift the standard of living of the business. So in the community, poverty, social aspects, anything that they are needing in the community, employees will find, employees being in part of the business will find their niche as to where they can buy into, where they can uplift the community, because at the end of the day, the community is the buying power. They must come back, be loyal, and have a big image of the business, or better image, a positive image of the business. Then it's customer relations. You've established now a relationship with your customers. The customers wants to come back, they become loyal. Then you have public affairs. Anything that reaches in the public's domain, they need to have a good insight as to what is happening within the business. And lastly, any investor that can support the business financially or can contribute to the upliftment of the business, that relationship needs to be also stable and very feasible, so that in the long run, the business can always attract this positivity because of their positive image. Then why is internal communication important? Yes, easy to communicate during difficult times. We now know there's channels of the news that are competing for the attention of the viewer. We have SABC channels because it's a world-renowned crisis that the world is in now. So with the crisis that conflict, the conflict, the reputation of the channel needs to reach. So you can't sit there as a viewer and say, "Oh, ETV is not giving us all the information. Let me rather change to channel SABC4, etc., etc." But that is what is happening with businesses, because they always want to get the competitive edge, the competitive advantage. Facilitate dissemination is one part of internal communication. This to make the information, the correct information, get to the target audiences at the right time, the right place, written correctly. And I don't want to rehash the past modules, but we've gone through how a message must be written, how do you address an audience, etc. Excuse me. To ensure everyone in the organization understands the mission and vision of the business. Any employee who's disgruntled against the business is not going to send out the best of images or messages to the public. So they need to buy into the vision and the mission of the business. To encourage a two-way communication. You will go cuckoo, that's the word they say, or they will go off your rocker, or they will go off the point if you are talking to yourself. So there must always be a recipient at the end of the message. So when the communication takes place, it's a two-way communication. Later we will hear about the upward and downward flow of communication, because instruction is given, feedback is given. Different counterparts are working with one another in the business. Employees need to go to different departments to go and get information in order to use with their tasks that they are busy with, etc., in order to get suggestions. Another one, the relationship with external stakeholders would best served if internal stakeholders were attended to. So if you want the public to see you good, you need to look at your internal stakeholders. Employee is your first and foremost stakeholder. If they are unhappy, they're not going to be productive, they're not going to put the best image forward, and then the public, which is external, will not look at you positively. So then, in order to reflect importance of employees, the organization, employees of choice, you were chosen. You're the public relations officers of the future. You're going to be the chosen ones to bring about this public and important positive image. Values, family values. If you're happy, your family is happy because you are happy. And values employees, education and training, and any other skills development programs as well as very beneficial for the internal public. So we look at communication having a good flow, upwards, downwards, diagonally, so that everybody understands who is saying what and what do they respond to. I will continue in the next part. Thank you.